Okay? We're gonna do some angry cops. Angry cops put out a video about apparently some protesters sabotage some planes on an airbase, as well as Metallica having issues with the Department of Defense. So I am intrigued. So let's check it out, shall we?
A pro-Palestinian group broke onto a British Air Force base and jacked with a couple of its planes, spray painting them and breaking them down and stuff and hitting them with a crowbar. And as strange as all that sounds, it makes me wonder just how tight is the security over there in Great Britain?
They don't know what the they're doing.
And as if the world wasn't weird enough,
Yup.
Pete Hegseth's DOD had to take down a motivational video showing drones and how we're going to be using them in the future because of music copyright. That's right. Lars Ulrich is back.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we're at this again. First he goes after Napster, and now he's going for the DOD. Son of a bitch, Lars.
But before we break down these two interesting stories, first, a word from this video's sponsor. It starts with one missed bill, and then another, and then another. Now it's
A dime.
envelopes that you don't open, pressure that doesn't let up. Debt doesn't knock at the door, it kicks it down. But PDS Debt is here to help you fight back. This
Oh,
is your
Alex, I
shot.
bet it
Take
wasn't.
before the debt takes everything. PDS Debt goes beyond numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed for you. There's no minimum credit card score required. They're just here to help you save money, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, your pocket. PDS Debt is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star rated reviews on Google, and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS Debt has helped hundreds of thousands out of debt. But you don't have to wait, because you're just 30 seconds away
Yeah,
from
Bound
being
Mates, you're probably
debt-free.
right.
Get your free assessment and find out the best option available to you right now at pdsdebt.com/angry. pdsdebt.com/angry. As of right now, for people.
Chumpus, before we actually jump into the video, the whole purpose behind this, we've like you say, you never understood companies that you have to pay to save money. They're basically consolidator they're a debt consolidation company. You pay them to basically consolidate your debt to make it easy, to supposedly make it easier for you to pay off said debt with smaller payments per month. That's what you're paying for. You're paying them to consolidate your debts. That's it.
.com/angry. pdsdebt.com/angry. As of right now, 4 people have been arrested for vandalizing several planes of the British Royal Air Force, also known as RAF. Well, what exactly happened? Why were these people arrested? Who is this organization? Allow me to fill you in. 2 members
Here we go.
of the organization, now labeled a terrorist organization, named Palestine Action, broke onto a Royal Air Force base in Bryce Norton. Where the f*** is that? Anywho, they broke onto the post. A lot of us are thinking they're sneaky. They're in masks. They're hooded. They've got face paint on.
Yeah.
They're low crawling through the dirt and the muck and underneath the wire and clipping fences like.
Yeah, they probably just walked right the fuck in, and the British military went, I say, you shouldn't go in there. I say, what are you doing there? Kindly stop. That is not cricket. That is not proper. Kindly stop that, and just let him walk right the fuck on. I guarantee you that's probably what the fuck happened. They care more about making sure people have their BBC license than they do about protecting their own military.
The Great Escape. And if that happened, one would think, my goodness, this organization's got their together. Until you see the video that they posted breaking onto the airbase and scooting, I'm not joking, scooting around on electric scooters from plane to plane. Spray painting red spray paint to simulate the blood of the Palestinians that are dying in the Israel and Palestinian conflict, and beating the engines with crowbars. And that leads me to a couple.
Okay. I really need a fucking facepalm expression. You're on the British Air Force Base. These are British military aircraft. They are designed, their entire purpose is to protect the UK. These planes are not flying into Gaza and dropping bombs on the Palestinians. They are there to protect the UK. These people presumably reside in the UK. Why the fuck are you going to try and destroy your own Air Force protection, you dumb motherfuckers? Because when those people that you are championing that are of a terrorist organization, when they decide, okay, we want to come after the UK and start bombing buildings in the UK, who do you think is needed to protect you from those people? Who do you think is going to be utilized if one of these terrorists take over an airplane that takes off from Heathrow Airport and a terrorist tries to take over that plane to dive bomb it into the center of London? How the fuck are they going to be able to protect you if you've destroyed their planes? Think. Like, the brain rot around this is just so fucking stupid, it defies description. The brain rot on this is just ungodly. That you basically destroy your own means of protection in service for a cause that you don't give a shit about. Because make no mistake, the people that did this do not give a fuck.
An idiot sandwich.
The people that did this do not give a fuck about Palestinians. Make no mistake, they do not fucking care about Palestinians. This is a bandwagon platform, and they're doing this like so many people that participate in activism. They have no lives. They feel like their lives have absolutely no meaning. And they are just looking to be a part of a group to feel like they have friends and that they have a purpose. And this is the purpose. They don't actually believe a fucking thing they say in regards to what's happening over in Gaza between the Palestinians and the Israelis. They don't understand it, and they don't give a fuck about it. Make no mistake. This is pure self-indulgence because they want to feel better about themselves, and that's it. That's all they care about.
Questions here. One, how do you not see a guy on a scooter zizzing around all sassy like?
Oh no, they's doing gay jokes.
Not just a spray paint can, right? No. Not just a gallon or two of paint, no. Old fire extinguishers filled with paint and pressurized so they can spray paint all into the jet engine intakes. How do you miss that? How do you sneak a scooter and basically a freaking metal drum that could have been a bomb onto a post and then just...
Ask the Australians. Just ask the Australians, because the same fucking thing happened in Australia. Remember, we watched it. AC did the video on that one too. Same fucking thing happened in Australia. Bunch of people just went onto the tarmac and started beating the shit out of the planes out there in protest. And they were just like, hey, stop. What are you doing? Stop that. Oh, Sketty, if it happened in the US or in Canada, these people would have been tackled the moment they actually got onto the base. Like, yes, I know people in the US like to make fun of Canadians, but the fact is, if somebody breaks into a base on Canada, the Canadian military is taking them the fuck down. Yeah, the US probably would have been shot, the Canadians probably would have beaten the shit out of them. So, slight difference there. But Canadians would not have just let somebody lackadaisically go onto their fucking military bases to potentially fuck with their equipment. US, yeah, they probably would have been like, stop. Okay, they're not stopping. Bang!
I bet maintenance is pissed now that they gotta take those engines apart.
Oh, I have no doubt, Reddit. No doubt whatsoever.
Scoot along the flight line. Who was asleep that night? I thought the flight line was a big deal. In the States, it's a big deal. In the States,
Yep.
there's some idiots on the flight line. There's like radio things made and...
Oh, there's lockdown in the
guy on
States.
the flight line, Gary. All right, we're on him. We've got 30 privates going after him right now. They got him, and they're butt stroking him with their rifles. Good job. Outstanding. Make sure to give him a couple good extra bruises for me before we throw him in the clink. Roger that. Do you know how fast you get up if you're floating around the flight line on a U.S. military air base? That fast. So how did they sneak past everybody on a scooter with a massive fire extinguisher on their back? How did then said people that were guarding the post...
Morning. 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 Morning.
There it is.
not hear the clang, 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 clang of not one, but two idiots beating the shit out of their aircraft with crowbars. They put silencers on those things? Is that why you couldn't hear them, mate? So this pro-Palestine...
Oh, yeah. Rum dumpster? I know. I know. It's... I'm in Canada too. So... I'm right there with you.
organization jacked up a couple jet engines on, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 2 refuelers and a large transport aircraft, or some variation of that. 1 of one and 2 of the other, vice versa, upsy downsies, you get it.
I don't know what's going on here.
And then posted a Palestinian flag on it, and then continued to just jizz red paint all over the tarmac. Now,
Okay, so not only how did they get in, how the fuck did they spend so much fucking time out on the tarmac doing all of this shit and no one heard a fucking thing? Even if it was nighttime, any military worth its salt, and the British military is a military worth its salt, no one that should have been guarding this saw or heard any of this. Fucking how? Someone's gonna have some questions that need to be answered here.
here's a little bit of inside baseball for you, Palestine action. Come here. If you destroy your government's military equipment and then post another country's flag on said destroyed equipment, one could safely assume that you're a foreign agent working for some sort of foreign government or agency. You know, like a spy or a terrorist.
I will f you up!
And rightfully so, because you just damaged intentionally military equipment, as if to say, I support these people and not this country, and therefore I will damage and undermine its capabilities. Well, I think that...
I mean, yeah, that's Chumpus, you're right. This is flat out domestic terrorism. You go onto a military installation and you damage military equipment so it is not functional, so you are therefore impeding the military's capability to perform its job if needed. That is domestic terrorism right there. You are literally trying to hinder the military prowess of your country. Straight to fucking jail. You're not seeing daylight for 20 years. You want to act like a terrorist, you get treated like a fucking terrorist. That's how it should be.
Just recently having got their terrorist accreditation checkmark from the UK is well earned. Does anybody else feel like the UK is getting like overtaken? The sun never set on the British Empire at one point is now like and it's getting overrun by like everybody except for Brits. India, Pakistan, all the countries that they were a part of that they colonized are now like, Uno reverse, and zoom, and they're all going to this island that's cold and has horrible taste in food. I feel like this.
It's not just the UK. The risk to your point, yeah, there is. Where Canada has had a great deal of both, like an extreme amount of both legal and illegal immigration taking place within the last several years. Like Canada is, it may not perhaps be as much as the US, but Canada is seeing it too. The problem Canada has is Canada decided to basically fling open its borders, and to basically, and they've essentially flung open its borders, and immigrants from all over started swarming in, and they're only now starting to lock it down. They finally started to lock down the amount of, finally started to close out the borders. But there's been plenty of illegal immigration that is happening in Canada too, because Canada's border is not as secure as the southern border, so a lot of them are crossing up
These
there.
idiots are just like Just Stop Oil.
Oh yeah, real fan. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they are. It's same stripes, different activism. But they do the same fucking thing.
It's just a horrible exercise in self-flagellation. Oh well. Speaking of shooting yourself in the foot, let's talk about Pete Hegseth and the DoD making this fantastic
It's also vice versa,
motivational
Lorette.
video all about drones.
We were brought here to rebuild the military, match capabilities to the threats of today.
Now, it's not because Pete...
Can I just say, having these troops flying a couple of DJI drones above their heads, I'm sorry, this is not intimidating. I'm seeing these four Marines, and I guess it's Marines and soldiers just could fly a couple DJI drones above them. I'm sure it does get better, Alistair. I don't have any doubt that the video would get better. This is not a great opener. This looks not great. It looks kind of weak, honestly, with these tiny little drones. I don't doubt that they're gonna it gets better as it goes on, but it's not a good opening.
Match capabilities to the threats of today.
Now, it's not because Pete talks about the U.S. military having to bolster its drones.
Unleash American manufacturing and the ingenuity of our warfighters.
Right? It's drone capabilities. No, it's not about that. It's not because it's controversial to talk about drones, because they're everywhere. They do be flying IEDs sometimes in the Ukraine. They had to take down the video because it had Enter Sandman playing in the background, which infringed on the copyright. So people notified the DoD and Pete and his team and said, hey, listen, we're with this social media group. That song is copywritten. You can't use it for your own promotions unless you have permission from Metallica, which Metallica's not giving anybody permission.
No, they're not doing shit.
Do you remember the South Park? Remember Napster when Metallica was all about nobody could get our music?
This month he was hoping to have a gold-plated Shark Tank bar installed right next to the pool, but thanks to people downloading his music for free, he must now wait a few months before he can afford it.
How you doing with Spotify now?
Okay, chump this. See you next time.
So I feel like it was the whole Barbara Streisand effect for all those artists that were like, we don't want all music on the internet. I don't know why they all became British, but here we are. The DoD took down the video that had Metallica playing in the background and put it up again without Metallica and some non-copywritten music. And here we are. But nonetheless, it made me laugh because don't you old-timers, including myself, remember the good old days at GWAT back from like 2001 to like 2007 or 8 when everybody was making those motivational war videos where your buddy would strap on a GoPro. I don't know if they were around at that point. I know some of them were. Or other cameras. And it'd be legitimate war footage of you and your friends kicking in doors and doing cordon searches and getting in firefights and firing off a law. Or night operations and just like Chinooks landing and Cobras shooting stuff, and detainee ops where they got guys with their zip-tied hands behind their back and bags over their heads because we're like, you're a terrorist, you son of a... Get in the Humvee! We used to rip off so many
Okay. We must not forget that during this time period, how many musical artists were basically just how much like patriotic music was also coming out of this time period. How many musical artists were just vomiting up basically song after song of music that was just pure patriotism. That was being used in military, in military advertisements. Yeah, it's sketchy. It's sketch therapy. Yeah, Metallica's always had a problem with it. And yeah, Honey Poo, Toby Keith. Exactly. Toby Keith is the one that everybody knows. Yeah. Things have changed. Things have definitely changed in the last 20 years.
Songs and put them through those things. Go on YouTube right now and look up like Fallujah video 2004 or Ramadi. God, there were so many videos about Ramadi. Trying to remember some of the songs that we would use. Who's that one band? It was like Death something. The lead singer killed himself. They had like that one amazing song and it got overplayed. Oh no, how am I forgetting it? Whatever. Either way, I remember a video where there was a suicide bomber and he blew himself up and his face degloved. It demasked his face.
God.
And it was to the song Limp Bizkit, Break Stuff, right? And so it's like, I'm like a time bomb. You know, it's going through the song and it's like showing all the stuff like blowing up and guys getting ready. And then it says, break your breaking face tonight. Give me something to break. And when it goes to, I'll break your face tonight, the dude's just there holding up this break your fucking face tonight. Suicide bomber's demasked face. Like the teeth were still in it, but there was no skull. It was just head skin with no eyes. And he's holding it up like a mask. You see, that's blurred right now, but on Pepperbox you can see that. That's right. If you want to see uncensored and extended versions of my videos, Donut Operators, Sick Police
no shit
Chases,
intense,
Brandon Herrera, and a whole bunch of original content, you go on Pepperbox and you can see this. You can see this dude's degloved face. Was it like Death Puddle? What was that f***ing band? Oh man, if I hear that song, I know it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to like try and think of it. I can't believe I can't think of that stupid band. It had one song. It wasn't Deadpool. Drowning Pool. Boom! It was Drowning Pool. Drowning Pool had that one fucking song that everybody took and put their own, video and photos to it and put it up.
Really? I thought because what they were just, that wasn't what the bodies hit the floor though. What he was just showing, the song was not Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. That was a different song. The one I always, the only Drowning Pool song I know is Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And that song was not Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. So, I don't know.
Up on YouTube years ago. I'm telling you right now, look up like 101 Fallujah 2004. You're gonna find a bunch of videos.
It didn't sound like a yard dog.
Rabbit hole of early 2000s war footage with angry white boy rock music playing in the background. Drowning Pool. Oh, what a horrible band. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. You know how the DOD had to take down a video because there's copyright music in it. But every member of the DOD that's been in for GWAT has been like, no, I've taken a song, then I've put a whole bunch of war footage to it, and I put it up on YouTube. What's the big deal?
I know what the big deal is. The big deal is that the DOD put out an official video using Metallica's music, and Metallica did not want to be associated with they didn't want people to think that Metallica authorized the use of their song for an official DOD or military advertisement. That was the problem. Somebody just like overlays it on their own footage and just puts it up on YouTube, they're not going to care. The reason why they cared is because it was official military video, probably on the official military channel, military's official like video channel, and that is probably why Metallica had the issue with it, is because it was an official advertisement. And chances are they may have said it was for some moral reasons, but really the reason probably is they want to get paid.
Way to support the channel is buy yourself a shirt. Check out Bunker Branding. I've got Bad Bitch shirts. I've got Cacao, Angry Cop shirts. I've got Crack House shirts. Crack House is almost done. I'm literally doing laundry and hanging up pieces of artwork. And the final episode should be out soon. Very excited about that. Cheapest way to support the channel is leave yourself a comment. Hey, tell me how you feel about this, right? What's going on with the British Air Forces, huh? How come you're really good at getting run over by a bunch of turds on scooters? It's the gayest ever. And tell me about your war stories. Oh my gosh, link them. Please link your deployment videos down below. Link them down below. It is necessary. I will watch several of them. I hope.
Okay.
I think we all just need to have a watch party. Maybe I'll do that on a live stream. Okay. See you next time, weirdos. A Palestinian organization breaks onto a British. Why can't I say these words? Broke onto a British. I can't say Air Force. I can't say British Air Force. I'm retarded. Now I'm just laughing.
British? Is it a British Air Force base? Oh, that was fun. And yes, Rich did lose the plot there at the end when he got fixated on Drowning Pool's song. He did what one of you guys said that he 100% did just go off on a wild tangent on that one and lost the plot. I will fully admit he did on that one.